there's this whole thing about IQ tests and this kind of stuff. And I was like, let's take an extreme example. There's still an ethnic group in Southern Africa called the San people, who, for better or worse, many of them have maintained a very traditional lifestyle, despite great odds. If a San person were to design an intelligence test, it would involve looking at the trails of two animals and asking you specific information about these two animals that you only see the hoof prints from. Because if you grew up as a hunter and gatherer, you can look at these hoof prints and make immediate deductions about these animals, because that is just part of what you know. And you don't even have to be smart to do that. It's just, that's what you grew up with. There's this story about people going, like people who grew in life in societies, opening the window at night, in the morning, looking out of their door, looking at the floor, and starting laughing because they just discovered an affair. Just by looking at footprints. I grew up in an urban environment. I don't see shit. All right, I wouldn't recognize any of that, not because I don't have the intellectual capability for it, because my environment doesn't require any of these skills.
Yeah, you're not tracking people's footprints in an urban environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if a San scientist would come up with the idea, I want to find out how smart white people are, this designs a test that any San teenager would pass with flying colors, and he gets me, a highly educated white person, to do that, I would be an imbecile. I can't even find water. I climb the hill, I look out to the savannah, and I don't see where the water is? How dumb! Right?
I love it. I love it.
It's just stupid, and they don't understand it. And then you take this person, who you take a really smart San hunter and gatherer, you put them into an urban environment, the guy would starve, or he would hunt your dog or something like this and do something completely outrageous because that's what he knows. And then we would think, what an idiot. And you give him a normal IQ test that any teenager here would pass. He looks at that, what's a tennis racket, right? Or why do you want me to move? Like, if you have never seen gears, somebody asks you, what is the next picture? You don't even know what you're looking at, right? It's not the question of stupidity.
Yeah. And like, maybe if someone told you what you should be looking at, you would immediately understand and be able to do
and then
the thing.
Look, this is like your hands, and you move your hands, and then, oh, yeah, that's easy, I can do that. But these IQ tests, they cannot be, people say, oh, they are designed to be socially, like they're culturally neutral. It's not possible.
It 100% isn't possible. People don't really understand how like learning and understanding work, you know, like,
Even
I mean,
tiny things.
As a teacher for decades, brother, like I can tell you that people don't, and also not only do people not understand it, I find that the research on it is also not sometimes the most helpful to understanding the reality of how we think and learn and what it all means. Like, I'm hopeful to publish some information about that. I'm actually working on a book with my moderator here on the show about teaching and learning, and we're hoping to put out some information that will get people to understand some more universal concepts about it. But I like this example that you're giving.
Yeah, and the other thing, again, with like intelligence, here's what people also don't realize. If you live in a poor country that is pre-industrial, you literally cannot afford to be dumb. Like this is what people don't seem to understand. The environment we live in, like this kind of highly urbanized technological environment, is the first environment in human history where objectively really stupid people can live good lives.
That's definitely a relatively new thing for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely new thing. Somebody who grows up in, I guarantee you, the average inhabitant of a crazy megacity like Lagos needs on average to be a little bit smarter than the inhabitant of New York City. Because New York City works better. It's an example. Pick any crazy city, right? From a different culture. You just have to learn different skills. You have to survive in different environments. So but we measure what we think is important, right? The skill sets we think important are what measures intelligence. And they have nothing to do with it. They can't even define intelligence, right? There's not even a proper, the only way you can find out if somebody's intelligent by having a conversation with them, in my opinion. It's the only way you can find out if they're intelligent, because I've met people who pass these IQ tests with flying colors and they're dumb as bolts.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that I love that example. I think the race IQ stuff has been going for a long time. So it's important for people to hear everything that you said there. And